friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel, and I've been talking so much lately about these new companies that are putting pressure on the established guitar brands. Basically, there are a lot of new guitar brands that are putting out awesome guitars at really competitive prices, and it is making Fender and Gibson and PRS and all of the older established companies really step up their game in order to keep their customers from jumping ship and going with one of these new brands. Now for me, there has been one company in particular that has been the most consistent in terms of putting out amazing guitars, and that is EART. Now look, pronounce the name however you want, but for me, EART has been putting out consistently great guitars since day one. The first one I played was their basic 3 single coil Strat type guitar. That was a few years ago, and that guitar blew me away because it cost about $200 back then. It's just a little bit more than that now, and it was one of the first guitars to have those really nice rounded ball-in stainless steel frets. It also had a roasted maple neck, a really nice thin shredder neck, and it had just great overall build quality and fit and finish on an incredibly affordable guitar. Since then, I've checked out a lot of other EART models, and my favorite has really become the Tele style T380 or the TL380. So I've got mine right here, and just look at this thing. I mean, it's a beautifully made guitar. These are like $300 to $350, right in that range. It's got a pair of humbuckers. It's got those stainless steel rounded ball-end frets, coil splitting, really nice bridge here, beautiful satin finish on the neck, and they do some really cool like compound radius, compound neck profiles on these necks. And it's not just me. Robert Jackson from the channel formerly known as Robert's Guitar Dungeon, he did a review of this exact guitar, although it was in a different color, and it blew him away too. And like I said, this really has, I think, become my favorite model from EART. But now, wouldn't it be great if they took all of that guitar secret sauce and all of their beautiful manufacturing techniques and put it in a Fender style Strat type guitar? Well, here it is, and just look at this thing. I mean, this is a beautifully made guitar. This is called the EART EYP24. Now, to start with, I should mention that this is kind of like a flagship model for them. I think it really represents the best of what EART can do in terms of their manufacturing, and so as you would expect, this costs a little bit more than some of the other models they've done. There's a listing right now on Amazon where you can get this guitar with a really nice case that I'll talk about a little bit later for $5.99. But let me blow your mind with the specs on this guitar. It has all of the high-end features that we want on a guitar like this. It has a roasted neck, a roasted maple neck, roasted maple fretboard. It's got 24 of the stainless steel rounded ball-end frets, and these are not the super small short frets. These are more like proper jumbo, at the very least medium jumbo frets. They've got the truss rod adjustment here at the neck pocket. They've got the compound radius on the fretboard, so it gets, rounder here, it gets flatter as you go up. It's got the compound neck profile, so the same thing, it's rounder here by the headstock, flattens out on the back of the guitar as you get closer to the neck joint. It's a bolt-on neck, of course, but it's got a really nice, smooth neck joint. They've got bevels on the back of the horn here. You've got an arm bevel. You've got a belly cut. And I mentioned the roasted neck. You want more roasted woods? Well, the body is roasted mahogany. So this whole guitar, all the wood in the guitar has been roasted, where they've heated it, they've put it in the oven, cooked it, right? So it removes all of the excess moisture. It makes the wood more stable, much less susceptible to changes in humidity and temperature. This is, of course, the Sunburst finish model. It's a satin finish over the whole guitar. They've got 4 different colors. And the case. Let's now talk about the case, because this case alone is worth, I think this thing goes for $150. Now, technically, this is not a hard case, but this soft case has some of the thickest padding I've ever seen in a bag type case like this. It's got the extra neck support in here. and the sleeve that goes over the top to keep the neck from sliding around. You've got all these heavy-duty zippers and extra pockets and so forth. And well, like I said, technically, it's not a hard case. This is truly a case that is actually going to protect the guitar. In fact, let's put that to the test. Okay guys, so what I'm gonna do here, we've got the guitar in the case. I'll show you this. It's really in there. Okay, there it is. And like I said, this is a super sturdy case. So I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna chuck it off the balcony here. It's gonna land on the sidewalk, and then we're gonna see how it survived, okay? Let's do this. Okay, let's check this out. Let's see if it survived here. Perfect, look at this. Look at this. No damage, nothing. Okay, it's not quite in tune, but it's okay. I'll take that. This is an awesome case. Throw it off the balcony, the guitar is still perfect. What more can you ask for? Okay, so we're back here now. Let's go ahead and check out how this guitar actually sounds. I've been playing with this thing. I've had it for 2 or 3 weeks now, and it is a joy to play. Did I mention it has coil splitting here? Okay, we're going to go through all the different sounds we can get out of this guitar, so let's go ahead and get into the sound demo. But real quick, guys, as always, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool, new, affordable guitars, and staying up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and you have not already subscribed for some reason, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this in. I'll use a variety of different amp settings and so forth, high gain, low gain, medium gain, clean, all that good stuff. Let's listen to how this sounds. Okay guys, now let's talk a little bit more about this, and I want to tell you about the playability, and let's talk about the sound also. Now playability wise, I mean, the playability is just fantastic on this guitar. It feels about the same in terms of the neck and everything as my T380. I've actually played this one so much that I've kind of worn in a little bit of a gloss on the back of the neck, just, you know, from playing it. And so this one has a little bit more of a matte finish at this point, but, you know, give me a couple of months and I'll probably match that other one. I love having the 24 frets on this one as opposed to the 22 frets on the T380. And one really nice thing is the cutaway here, especially with that bevel on the back of the body. The cutaway makes it really, really easy to grab those highest frets right there. Now, the build quality and the fit and finish on this guitar is just second to none. I mean, these frets are finished so nicely. But aside from the parts of the guitar that you're actually in contact with, the bridge and the frets and all that stuff, just the whole guitar is just, it's so clean. You know, the manufacturing is so clean. That's the thing that's really super impressive about these. The tone is surprisingly resonant, and when you play the guitar, you know, not plugged in, just acoustically, you can really feel the body, the whole guitar really vibrating. You can really feel the vibration in your body when you have the guitar close to you or sitting on your leg or something like that. Now, the other thing I should mention is the coil splitting. Coil splitting for me is an essential feature on a guitar that has humbuckers, because I like to go with a simpler pickup arrangement, like 2 humbuckers or maybe a humbucker and a single coil in the neck. I like to stick with a simple pickup arrangement, but then have some other options with coil splitting or a tone knob or something that lets you get some different tones out of the simple pickup arrangement that you have installed in the guitar. And this guitar really excels at that. Now, if we're being totally honest here, you're not going to get a really 100% true single coil sound out of this coil splitting option here. It technically is a single coil when you have it in that mode, but it doesn't quite sound the same as an actual single coil spaced single coil pickup would sound. But it gets you very, very close, and I think the main key is that it gives you a very different sound than the full humbucker. So it just gives you more variety in terms of the tones you can play. I think it is even more important to have those options on a guitar like this, where you have 24 frets and you have less space between the pickups. Sometimes guitars like that, you end up with both or all 3 or whatever pickup positions sounding pretty similar because the pickups are positioned so close together. So having that extra coil splitting option in there really expands the variety of tones that you can get. Now look guys, I know that there are still guitar players out there who are skeptical of Asian-made guitars or overseas manufacturing, but I think at this point, if there's anybody left out there who is still avoiding a guitar like this for those reasons, at this point you're just missing out on a great instrument. And not all of these companies are the same. This guitar here, I think, it's a great representation of what EART can do. But there are still other brands, you know, some of these new overseas brands. Some of them are bad, some of them are really good. This one here is fantastic. All right, who out there watching owns an EART guitar? I know a lot of people have those T380s. A lot of people have those basic 3 single coil Strat type guitars that have been out for a few years. Maybe there's even a few of you that have this model, although this is still pretty new right now. But let me know what you think of the guitar you have down in the comments section below. And there are other people, a lot of other people who are talking about these guitars on YouTube. Robert Jackson that I mentioned earlier. Phil McKnight is also a big fan of the EART guitars. So as they say, you don't have to take my word for it. Now, the only thing I'll mention about this is in the listings and everything, and the advertising, you know, marketing material and all that, they're calling this a super Strat guitar. And it is a super Strat in a lot of ways. It's got the 24 frets, right? And it's got the dual humbuckers, all that stuff. But for my money, a true super Strat guitar has a double locking bridge, right? This is a great bridge. It's a 2-point, you know, you've got the 6 individual saddles, works well considering the design, but I always go for a Floyd Rose, especially if I'm going to call the guitar a Super Strat guitar. I would love to see EART do a Floyd Rose equipped guitar. Maybe we'll get that in the future. I certainly hope so. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Let me know what you think of all this stuff down in the comment section below. I'm going to have links for everything I was talking about in the video down in the comment section below. I'll have a link for the guitar. That listing I think will include the case. Be careful with the listings. There are some listings where you actually pay more for just the guitar than the guitar and the case. So I'll have all that stuff down in the video description below. Guys, thanks a ton for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you very soon.